is a good hockey team. They're not great. I think they're good. They're an improving hockey team, and one that I thought was going to be a playoff team before the season, and here they are. They're in a playoff push. Do they need to add to this team to solidify that, or are they good enough right now as it stands, or even just simple promotions will secure that playoff spot? But if they find themselves losing 3 of the next 5 games, and then New Jersey passes them, and one of the other teams that's behind them is knocking on the door and they're ready to pass them too, and the Red Wings find themselves on the outside looking in, do they have to start thinking about trading guys away? Some of the veteran players that are free agents at the end of the year. I hope not. I don't even want to think about that option because I think this is a good team. And they seem like they're playing better now with Patrick Kane in the lineup. They're still, it was weird. Like with Kane in the line, the record hasn't been great. Even though Patrick Kane has been great. He is what he is. He's an offensively gifted player. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's got 22 points in 23 games with the Wings. He got a goal and an assist the other day. I love watching Patrick Kane play in a Red Wing uniform, which I never thought I'd ever say in my life. He's watching him play with Chicago. He's the enemy. Hard to accept that. But he won me over right away with his unselfish play. He's a precision passer. He's fantastic in setting guys up. He's a solution on the power play. I mean, you want Patrick Kane on your power play because he's just going to be there feeding guys for open shots. And he can put the puck in the net himself. He's offensively gifted. Defensively, is he a liability? I don't think he's a liability, but I don't think he's counted on to be this defensive force. That's not why he's there. He's there for offense. And this is a team that is vastly improved one year over the next with their offensive output. They're scoring much more now than they did a year ago. But it's been a struggle for them to figure out that balance and win games when he's in the lineup. But I think they'll figure this out. I think he's too good of a player not to. I think he's got a positive influence on the rest of the team. I think the guys like playing with him. They like seeing him. I think they're maybe even a little inspired by his story coming off that hip surgery that nobody has really been able to come back from and be competitive, and he is. But he's a free agent at the end of the year. You know, they know, I think they have a pretty good idea if he wants to stick around and maybe be part of this team in the future and what that would cost. But Patrick Kane is certainly playing right now like he's a guy that you should sign. Some team's going to want to sign him in the offseason. Will it be the Red Wings? I don't know. But if they find themselves behind the 8 ball and not going to make the playoffs, you can spin him off for draft pick. I don't want that to happen. I don't even want to think about that happening. I think they've got solutions in-house. If they were to make a move and get somebody, a top 4 defenseman, love to know what it takes to get one. You know, we'll scour the rumor mills and watch what happens here. But I think Steve Yzerman's going to be active. I don't know if he'll get a deal done, but he's going to be fielding calls. He's going to be making calls. And, you know, the Red Wings have a game today at Seattle. These are 2 very similar teams record-wise. They need to win these games. You know, last year they swept the Western Hockey trip. This year, it hasn't gone that way. You lose the 2 games at Edmonton and Vancouver. They beat Calgary. Let's see if they can take this one against Seattle. That would be nice. But only 8 games until the trade deadline. They need to win the majority of these games. Keep going in the right direction. Keep adding point totals so they can keep themselves ahead of the teams that are chasing them. Now, I hopefully put more pressure on Toronto and maybe even catch Toronto. 4 points behind the Maple Leafs, 2 points ahead of the Devils.